I think more than ever, actually, the APEC institution is crucial. Because if you're not talking to one another, if you're not sharing your experiences, if you're not explaining why you're taking the approach you're taking in APEC, then there aren't very many other places to do it. What I think you're doing may be totally different from what you're actually doing or what your intent is. And the only way that I would know that is to have a dialogue. But if we don't have other locations for dialogue, then we're just guessing at what the other side is actually doing. And I think that's a problem. So more than ever, we actually need the institution of APEC to be functioning as in an incubator of ideas to discuss what are we doing, why are we doing it, what do we want to accomplish, what does that mean for you? How might you be impacted by a decision that I'm making? All of that, I think, is more relevant than ever. Well, I think there's a few things that are important. One is always to remind people of what China's actually doing versus what they think it's doing, always helpful, just to make sure we're all aware of what the facts are on the ground. So transparency is actually very important. Second is following the rules that we have in place. And although it's challenging, I was delighted to see that China has now referred a case, for example, against the European Union on electric vehicles to the WTO, to the World Trade Organization, because that's using the existing mechanisms that we have in order to have a very difficult set of conversations. I think that's to be applauded. What are the areas that we need to focus on? One that I would highlight of particular importance to China and the region is climate, green technologies, green growth, etc. China, I think, has a lot to say in that area that's important. So what could APEC economies and APEC, the institution, do to support green outcomes? And having China be a big part of that conversation, I think, is important. It will be difficult for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is Chinese incredible competitiveness in green technologies makes everyone else very nervous. But that's where you have to have those discussions. So using the existing mechanisms, the existing levers, pushing for transparency, I think is really crucial for China.